Good morning, kids. Good morning, parents. My name is Saudin. In today's lesson, we are going to learn about deflection. This is a lesson for advanced players, and really a lot of fun with this lesson. You are going to enjoy it. Now, look, let's first see what a deflection is. Like in this case, we want to push this pawn and get a queen. So what I really want to do is I want to play king e2 and push the pawn to d1 and then to get a queen. But the problem is when I play king e2, the knight is going to go to c3, right? And I cannot then promote to the queen. So what I'm going to do is I am going to deflect this knight. So I'm going to play a move like knight a3, give the knight for free. And when the knight takes, then I'm playing king e2, and the next move is pawn to d1, right? So that would be the deflection, right? So basically you are taking one of the opponent's pieces from protecting, defending. Now, get ready. Take a piece of paper, pencil, write down the moves. We're going to calculate in some positions even up to 6 moves. Or what else can you do? Let me see. Find a good, quiet place so that you can focus on this lesson, because this is a really advanced lesson. Okay, let's see. And take as much time as you want. Pause the video and think, right? Because I have to go faster through the positions. I cannot make the video too long. Let's go. Deflection here. Couple of seconds to find the moves. Try to move. Okay, look. We're going to play bishop to b7. That's the first move. Now, when the queen takes on b7, we are playing queen to d5, and that's deflection move, because we are really removing this queen from protecting the bishop on e7. And if the queen moves somewhere like queen c7, then we can take on a8, the rook, right? So that's the move that it's deflecting. So let's see. Queen goes here, and we play queen d5. And see, that's what's going on. Now, pay attention why this deflection is happening. It's because you have this fantastic knight on f5, right, in a great position. And after queen d5, if queen takes on d5, then you play knight e7, make a fork, check, and you take a queen. Or, like I said before, if queen goes to c7, you can take knight e7, queen e7, and then you take queen a8, the rook, right? So that's the deflection. And here, knight e7. Okay, let's see the next one. This one is a nice move. I imagine you play a move like this in your own games. Of course, you found this move quickly, right? Queen a8. We are deflecting the rook. If the rook takes the queen, then we play knight e7 and we take knight c8. Now, you're also attacking the knight, right? So we are winning the piece here. And you take knight e7 and knight c8. Okay, let's go to the next one. This one, here you have a deflection, but at the same time you are using the back rank issues. There is a back rank problem here. So let's see if you can find the first move. I hope you didn't play rook a8, because then queen takes you on a8 and you get checkmated. The move is queen b2. Now let's calculate all the lines. With a queen b2, you are really threatening to take a rook a1, right? Now, what can white do? If white goes with a queen to d1 to protect the back rank, then your queen will go to f2 and you checkmate on the second rank. If any other move, rook b2, if queen is taken, then rook a1 checkmate, or rook a2, queen b1 checkmate. So there's no move for white. Move like g3, you just take. We capture for free, right? And you got a piece. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, be careful here because there is a trick in this position. So let's calculate 3 moves. See if you can win this game. Okay, look. The correct move is rook e1, check. Now, if rook takes e1, now, of course, we cannot take d takes e1 because queen takes, right? So we play rook e1, we play queen d4. And that's the move, deflecting the queen from protecting the rook, right? So now queen takes, we take d takes e1, checkmate. The problem is if you change the move order, if you would play queen d4, then queen can take you, and rook e1, the rook doesn't have to take. King can go to f2. That would be a big mistake. And rook d1, and now king e2, and white wins the game. So we need to play rook e1. And then queen d4. And we take on e1, and we win the game. Let's see the next one. Okay, here in this case, we have 3 pieces, rook on e3, queen on f7, bishop h6, participating in the attack on the king and interrupting the black coordination of the pieces. Okay, let's calculate the move rook to e8, right? So what's happening here after rook e8? We are really disrupting the coordination of the black pieces. With a rook e8, we are threatening queen g7, checkmate, because rook cannot capture. If rook takes on e8, queen g7 mate. If queen takes on e8, then we play queen to f6 check, and then rook g7, and we take queen g7. What else can happen here after rook e8? If bishop goes to f8, the bishop is kind of blocking this queen g7. You have 2 options. You can take rook d8, the queen for free, right? And if you want, you can also take bishop f8. That's also possible, right? With the idea bishop g7 checkmate. So let's try that move. Rook e8. Yeah, here you take queen f6 and queen g7 checkmate. Okay, what's going on here? We have 2 rooks and the bishop attacking the king. Now the king is on the edge of the board, right? So this pattern with the 2 rooks is happening that we can checkmate the king. Yeah, there's a nice deflecting move that we can play. So first, I'm going to give you the first move. Calculate rook g1 check. So the king can go to h5, and then we would play rook h7. What happens if the king goes to h6? That's the key move, right? What would you do with the white side? Okay. If the king goes to h6, the deflection move is bishop to f8, check. Because the rook has to take, and then you play rook d3 and rook h3 checkmate, and it cannot be stopped, right? So let's see this. Rook g1, and here bishop f8 check, and then you play rook d3, and that's bishop f8 was deflection move. And now rook h3 cannot be stopped. Yeah, I mean this move, right? Rook h3 and you take. Okay, so let's see the next one. Okay, first we have to see what's going on. We have a queen on d3. I'm sorry, queen on d5, attacking the pawn on f5. And we have a rook on h1 that can help us, right? But also we have a pawn on d6, right? This pawn can become a queen. So I'm sure you are thinking about rook h5, right? Deflecting the king. So king takes on h5, and then we take queen f5 check, king goes to h6 to protect the knight. And now I have to find a move to win the game. Okay, I think you found this. Queen takes e4, check. I mean, take the rook takes e4, and you push pawn to d7, and pawn cannot be stopped. Right? So let's see this. Rook h5, queen f5, check. You take the rook, and you push the pawn to d7, and you take d8, queen. Right? You win the game. Let's go to the next one. Okay, this one is easy, right? You have, again, pay attention how knight in the center of the board is so powerful. You have a rook d1, queen e4. Right, we would love to, I mean, this one is just checkmate in two moves. I'm not sure this belongs to deflection. You take a rook f1, right? And queen h1 checkmate. Basically, we are deflecting the king from h1, right? Okay, this one was easy. Let's see the next one. We have two rooks here. We have a queen on e7. So what can we do here? So what's happening? We have a rook in a7, queen e7. We are attacking on f7. We would love to make a checkmate on f7, but this rook is protecting f7. So what we can do, we can deflect the rook by playing rook c8, right? And there's no move right now because otherwise we are going to take queen f8 and now checkmate, right? So I think this kind of move you can find. This should not be difficult for you because you're advanced level now. Okay, let's see what's going on here. We have a double rook attack here on h8. The queen is around, pawn is helping us. You can make a deflection. First, you have to figure out what piece has to be deflected. Yeah, the king has to be deflected from protecting the rook on h8. So the move is queen f6, check. And if queen takes on f6, you take with a pawn on f6, king takes, and rook h8, rook h8, rook h8, you ended up with the rook up. So let's see that. And here you take, and you take the rook for free. Deflection with a queen f6. Okay, the next one. Okay, this one should not be hard, right? You have this attack on d5 with a queen. The bishop is here. Bishop is protecting the knight on d5. If you play bishop to h3, you are deflecting the bishop from the protection of the knight, and you just take. With this one, there's no checkmate or something. We just won the pawn. Let's see here. What do we have here? We have a queen that's attacking this rook. We have a rook on g3. There is an attack here. The knight is in an excellent position on f5. Again, pay attention to the knights. When they got to the opponent's side of the board, they are so dangerous, right? This knight is fantastic, right? We also have the rook on open file that can help us for attack. We have a bishop on e2 that can help us for the attack. So what should be the deflection move here? If you combine all those pieces, then you are going to find the move very easily. And that move is bishop h5, right? Because you are deflecting the queen from protecting the rook on f8. And now checkmate, right? Okay, let's see here. Okay, here we have this powerful queen and the bishop attack, and of course threatening the checkmate in many positions on h5, or we also have this idea of moving the queen to h5 to make a checkmate. So what should be the deflection here? A cool move. I'm sure you found the move, rook e1. By now you should get used to those moves, right? Rook e1 is deflecting the queen and the rook, and yeah, there is no defense here because you are threatening the queen, or you are threatening to take the rook, and then queen g2, queen h1 should be leading into the checkmate, right? So, and also queen h5, checkmate. Just one move like that, rook e1, and everything is finished. That's like so cool. I love those moves, you know, when you disrupt the coordination of the pieces. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, be careful because there is a rook f8 checkmate. So you see, if you take a rook a3, right, then a rook to f8 would be a checkmate. Very nice move here. Okay, you're lucky that there's a pawn here on d7, right? I mean, in some positions, okay, it's actually not really, because it would be a check. So the move is rook g2. I hope you found this move. Now look, with the rook g2, you are really pinning this rook so the rook cannot checkmate you, right? And if the rook takes on g2, then you take rook a3 and you ended up with a bishop up, right? You are also threatening rook a2, a skewer to take the rook. Cool, let's see this one more time. Rook g2. There's no move, right? If rook takes on d3, you play rook f2 check, and then you take bishop a5, so you should be able to win the game, right? Cool move, I like it, rook g2. And then you take on a3. Okay, let's see here what's going on. Okay, look, we have this attack on d5, right? The queen is attacking on d5, a rook is attacking on d5. We have a double rooks here, the back rank issues, right? So see if you can find deflection here. This one is well known from yeah, I maybe even we saw some of those in intermediate levels. Okay, let's calculate together now. We take rook d5 and queen takes d5. Now the deflection move is rook e8. So if rook takes, we take queen d5. But if the king moves, then we take rook d8. So from the back, we are protecting our queen on d1. So this is the deflection move. And now we take, and our queen is protected. Okay. See the next one, number 17. Okay, this one, see, pay attention to all the pieces that we have on the chessboard. We have a pawn on g6, that's very important, rook on h1, rook on d1, right? Now black has some kind of attack here with those pawns, but not dangerous, right? So it's a checkmating pattern that you can create. let's calculate together. Rook goes to h8. That's a deflection move. King takes, and then we take the pawn on f7. So black doesn't have a move because the next move is rook h1. Checkmate, and we are threatening to take on e8. Right? Rook h1 checkmate. Okay, here you can here you must take. You cannot play king a1 because rook b1 check. So you have to take. And now checkmate. Okay, this one should be easy for you because you already saw many of those positions. Now, what do we have here? We have a queen. We have a rook in attack. We have this rook that can join us. Pawn on g4, important. So how do we do the deflection? Right, rook is attacking the pawn here. We would love to play queen h2. So first move, rook f2, king takes, queen h2. And the king has to go to f1. That's the only move. And then the rook f8 leads into a checkmate. Yeah, this is not difficult, right? You should be able to see this. Rook f8, checkmate. Okay. Now, here, let's look at all the pieces attacking the white king. We have a rook on d1, clearly very important because the king cannot go back to the first rank. Then we have this knight that can jump to g4 and make a checkmate. Right, so do you see the deflection move here? Okay, I already gave you an answer, right? Because knight g4 would be a checkmate, so queen to g2 is the move. And then you play knight g4, checkmate. So we just deflected that bishop from g4 and made a checkmate. Let's see the next one. What do we have here? We have a queen on c3 attacking the bishop. You know, if you take the bishop, then you are going to take the rook as well, because it's going to be a check. We have those two bishops here, right? So queen is protecting the bishop. How do we deflect the queen? With the bishop f4, right? That's the correct move. And queen cannot protect the white bishop anymore. That's it. And queen takes. And you take on b1. Yeah. We ended up with a piece up. What's going on here? Okay, we have this mating pattern, right? We have a rook on d2, we have a queen on d8. So basically what we have, rook d1, king e2, queen d3 would be a checkmate, but there's a knight in c5, right? So we have to deflect the knight. How do you do that? Now, there's also a problem with the back rank. So for instance, if the king goes to g1, you play rook d1 here, king h2, queen h4 is a checkmate. That's the line we have to also calculate. So the move is bishop a6. You are deflecting the knight, right? Now, if the queen takes on a6, you can take the rook on c2. Knight takes, you play rook here, and queen d3 checkmate, right? Or let's go back. Let's go back. Let's do it one more time so you see everything. I cannot move the pieces here because the computer doesn't allow me. Bishop a6. If king goes to g1, rook d1, king h2, queen h4, checkmate. If queen takes on h6, you can take rook c2 and you are threatening queen to d1 checkmate. If king goes to g1, you play rook c1 and yeah, in this case, the knight can go to f1, so there is no checkmate, but you won the rook for a bishop, so this is correct move. Okay, so we have to still play those moves. Let's see here. Okay, we clearly have two bishops here in the attack, and two bishops and the queen. We would love to play bishop h3, but then king goes to e2. So we can play a move and basically basically just interrupt a little bit the defense of the white pieces. I'm wondering what was the last move here that white played. It's probably capture something on e6. So correct move here is bishop to g3, right? You see, if he would do any other move like taking on e6, taking on d3, the attack would stop. But bishop g3, you are threatening, let's calculate without moving the pieces. Bishop g3, right? If you are threatening queen f2 checkmate. If pawn takes on g3, then bishop h3 is a checkmate. If queen goes, let's say, to d2 or e2, c2 to protect on f2, then you have a bishop d3, like if queen goes to c2, let's say bishop d3 check, queen takes, and then queen f2 checkmate. Or if queen goes to e2, queen h1 is a checkmate. So what else do we need to calculate here? Nothing else, because king cannot move to e2, queen f2 would be a checkmate, so this is the move. Yeah, the computer gives us very easy solution, bishop h3. But there are no other moves there. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, we have here queen and the bishop. Look, the king is really in a dangerous position here. Those two pieces on the diagonal, we would love to go to b2 or a1 and then checkmate the king. At the same time, we have a rook attacking on c2 and have this rook on h8 that can join us. So try to combine those four pieces for a checkmate. Now, of course, if you play queen b2, king d2 runs away, right? So let's calculate. The first move, rook c2. King cannot take on c2 because queen b2 is a checkmate. So queen takes on c2, right? Now, we would love to play queen b2 checkmate, but the queen is on c2. So we play rook c8. We give that rook for free, deflecting the queen. And now we are threatening to play queen b2 and then take the queen on c2 for free. So if queen takes c8, then queen b2 is checkmate. So hopefully we can see that. Let's see. We take rook c2. Then we play rook c8. And queen b2, checkmate. Yeah. Let's see 24. Yeah, we would love to, we have a rook and a queen. Definitely there's an attack here. Bishop is on e3 that can go to d4. So let's combine those three pieces and make a deflection. And win the game. Okay, here you end up with a rook against the bishop. So what we want to do here, we play queen f8. We take the rook. Bishop takes, right? So we deflected this bishop from defense, and then bishop d4 wins the queen pin, right? Queen takes, rook takes, and you are going to win the game because you have a rook against the bishop. And then, of course, you take on e4 and win the game. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, here the pawn on g7, of course, is very important because this pawn is creating a checkmating pattern. The king cannot move into the corner. You have a rook on g1, queen on g6. We have a bishop here, right? So bishop, queen, pawn, and the rook can win the game. So just combine a little bit and see what can you find. Look, bishop d5 would be basically a checkmate, but rook takes, so deflection move is queen e8. Right? Let's calculate. Bishop d5. The rook cannot, right, block. I mean, rook can block, right? Or queen can block, but then you take and just win the game. The king is in checkmate. Yeah. Let's go to the next one. This one is also from a game. Look, king is on h4, and it's on the edge of the board, and it's in a checkmating pattern, right? We would love to play g3, but we can't because there is a pin. So you already know the answer, right? Queen e1. Now with the queen e1, that's the deflection. King is in checkmating pattern, rook has to take, and g3 checkmate. We had that position before. Okay, we have a pawn on e6, very important, right? Because and then we have a rook on here, right? There's an attack on c4 with a queen. Rook protects the queen, and this kind of position we just had a few puzzles ago, right? Something similar, right? So basically, what we are doing, we are deflecting the rook, right? If the rook takes, we take the queen, or if the bishop blocks, bishop f8. Then we can take queen c4, rook takes e4, and we take the rook on a8 for free. So that's the deflection. And you take here. You are fortunate there is no checkmate down there on rook d1 because you can play rook f1 block. Okay, this one we are really going to win the piece here. We have a two rook and a bishop. There's this pawn that's very important for us, right? We are targeting the rook on a8. So calculate a little bit and find the moves. Okay, so let's calculate together. Rook takes d5, pawn takes, check, king goes to b7, and then deflection move a6. King has to take, and we take a rook on a8. So we take, check, and this is deflection move, a6. And you are piece up. Okay, let's see 29. Okay, pay attention here. There is a pawn on h5, and king is on the edge of the board, right? We have the queen on f5 in the attack. We have a rook on b6 in attack. We also have this rook on a1 that can join us. So let's see if you can find the deflection move. Now, if the black king can go back to g7, then yeah, he's going to run away. Or if black can play f6. So what we are doing here, deflection move is rook b7, right? Because you are removing the queen, and now when the queen captures, you play queen f6. Check. And the combination can continue here. I'm not sure why my office did not enter all the moves here, but if king goes to h5, right, then we could play king g2, and the next move is rook h1 and queen f3 checkmate. So basically rook h1, king g4, queen f3 checkmate. So that's the end of the combination. What do we have here? We have a bishop on g6, knight on f6, and knight on b4 that can participate in this combination. We would love to play bishop e4 checkmate, but knight is protecting that pawn. So the deflection move is knight a2, right? You are removing the knight from the defense, and then you take bishop e4 checkmate, right? Let's see the next one. 31. Okay, here we have three pieces: queen on g5, knight on e3, rook on d8, and there's a checkmating pattern with a queen and the knight, right? So I'm sure you are thinking about this move rook d1, right? Because if the rook takes on d1, then knight c2 check. King cannot run away to d2 because there's a queen. So king goes to f2, queen e3 checkmate, right? Because the knight is on c2 protecting the queen. And after rook d1, knight c2, yeah, there's no any other move. Now, the only thing that we need to calculate is rook d1, king f2. And then in that case, you have knight g4. Knight g4, if king goes to g1, queen e3 checkmate. If king goes to f3, queen e3 checkmate. If king goes to g3, in that case, you can take knight e5 check with a discover check. So let's see, rook d1 and this move, knight c2. There's no move, right? King f2, queen e3, and that's it. Let's see the 32. What is the deflection here? Okay, here we have a mating pattern. This mating pattern, we did it in intermediate 2 level. And the mating pattern is with the rook and the knight, right, on the rook on the second rank. So what do we have here? We would love to play knight f3 check, and if the king goes to h1, rook h2, checkmate. But the queen is here, so if you play knight f3, then queen takes on f3. So the deflection move is queen to e1, right? We play queen e1, we are threatening queen f2, checkmate. So if the queen takes, check, and mate. Let's see the deflection here. Okay, we have some kind of mating pattern going on here with the queen. The knight can help us. There's a rook on c4, right? So those 3 pieces are participating in the attack. But black has a defense, like black is protecting the king on the diagonal. So try to see if there's a deflection move here. Right, because this queen is protecting diagonal, the move rook c4, right? We are attacking the queen with a rook c4, right? And deflecting that queen, right? So if black takes, then we play queen e7, check. King goes to g8, we take, right? So the only move is bishop to f8, and then we have to play knight e7 check, right here. And now the rook is on a8 is attacked, right? So do we play first move? I guess we first have to play knight f5, right? And now we take on a8. The question is, what happens if the king goes to g6? That was probably a better move instead of king g8. So if we take on a8, king takes on f5, and then we take on f8, right? So that's another line. And here we take, and we ended up with a exchange up, enough to win the game. Okay, what's going on here? We have clearly this knight in a great position, right? We also have the attack with the 2 rooks, and those 2 rooks are, I mean, they can be discovered, right, for the attack, right? But there's a queen on g5. You see, the king is kind of trapped, cannot escape, right? So what do we do here? I mean, we would love to let's say play a move like knight e7, right? But then what's happening is that the queen is there, right? So we need to deflect the queen from the protection. So you can figure out this kind of moves only if you can see the defense, right? Like the queen is defending there. Now there's another important piece here, knight on h3. So so you may have some kind of smother mate combinations, like let's say knight goes to d7, and then you play queen f6 when the king is here on f7, and then rook takes and knight goes to g5, checkmate. So the move is b3. You are deflecting the right, and then move is c4, because you have to deflect the queen from the diagonal, and now you can play knight d7. Yeah, we need to continue here, because again, the moves are, I mean, this is the most important about, I don't know why did they stop here. Look, if king goes to f7, you play queen f6 check, a rook takes f6, right, and then knight g5 checkmate. So that's the whole point of the combination. So this puzzle has to be a little bit changed, right? I'm gonna tell them number 34 to continue here. So look, this is the idea. Like, one more time: queen f7, queen f6, rook takes on f6, and knight g5 checkmate. Right, that's the point of this combination. All right, let's see this one more time. So we want to play knight d7, but the queen is controlling that, so we are deflecting the queen and setting up for this smother mate combination with a knight d7. King goes to f7. I cannot move the piece here, and then queen f6 and knight g5. Okay, here we have a pattern, and the pattern is look, you have the bishop on the diagonal, you have a knight on h4, a rook on h3, queen on e4, right? Those are the pieces, and also, of course, this piece is also important, pawn on f5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces attacking the king, right? Definitely we want to play some ideas with the knight g6. So basically, if you would play knight g6, pawn takes on g6, we play rook h3, that would lead into the checkmate, right? But if you play knight g6, knight takes on g6, right? So we need to deflect that knight. How do we deflect the knight? By playing queen e6, right? We are threatening queen g8. And after playing queen e6, knight takes on e6, knight g6, pawn takes on g6, check on h3, king g8, bishop e6, king f8, rook h8, checkmate. So that's the idea. So queen e6, we are deflecting the knight. We play a check. We take on e6, and rook h8 checkmate. Okay, let's see the last one.